Welcome to Chalk Talk. I'm Mike Simpson, Superintendent of Guthrie Public Schools. Today we have with us principals from Cotteral Elementary, Scott Graham, and from Fogarty Elementary, Marcia Todd. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
We've been through some of the greatest changes that the district has seen in pre-K through fourth grade in many, many years, and probably since the late 60s. And so a couple of the people that have been on the front lines are here with us today, and we want to talk a little bit about how that has changed in their buildings and with their teachers and with their students, and just kind of take us through some of the things that you guys have experienced in starting the school year. And we got a late start, and because of the construction at Charter Oak, and then we went to neighborhood schools, and Mr. Graham, Scott, you had pre-K through kindergarten kids, and Marcia, you had second and third graders. So kind of tell, Scott, let's start with you. Tell me what's different, and you've been previously in your career, you've been at a neighborhood school.
Yes.
So you kind of bring a little bit different perspective than maybe Marcia does, but take us through what the start of the school year.
Okay. First off, it was amazing when I could introduce myself to a student and actually look many of them in the eye. That was a huge change, and it's a great change. The desk situation is amazing because we had always had small desks, small chairs, and now we have basically adult chairs and adult desks. So a lot of that, we had to navigate through, but it's been a great change.
And Marcia, how's it gone at Fogarty?
It's gone well at Fogarty. We're adjusting well. We had a little hiccup with our car line at the beginning of the year, and we ended up having to split that two ways. But after we did that, it kind of got the kids out of it a little bit quicker, and the parents a little bit happier about not having to sit in a car line for so long. But it's a good change. It's a lot quieter at Fogarty. Whenever you've got that age span of difference of fourth grade down to kindergarten and just 3 classes of each grade level, it's a big difference. It's a positive change.
One of the things that you guys have shared in staff meetings is you feel that discipline is down and the kids are acting better. Tell me why you think that might be. Because that's something I didn't anticipate. It's a great thing, but you guys got any ideas there?
Mm-hmm. For Cotteral staff, they always point out the older kids, look at how great they are doing it. And they'll point out that to the older kids, we're still learning how to do this. Can you model this for us? And so that's really been nice. They've even come down during lunch to see how the older kids sit quietly. They can have a conversation with the person across from them. They don't have to have one with the child 5 seats down and stuff. So it's really, that's been a great deal for the older kids to model just great routines and their way of doing things.
We see a lot of the same thing, using the older students as leaders in the building and guiding the younger students. But I think, too, whenever you've got 230 second graders of all the same developmental age in one place, then they're all struggling with the same developmental behavior at the same time. So, and now we've just got 3 classes of second grade and like 60 second graders instead of 230. So that makes a big difference. And there's not as many students. It's not as tight in classrooms. It's not as tight in the hallways. So I think that has a lot to do with our behavior.
That's great. Well, one of the things that we were hopeful of is that we could improve parental involvement. And we're still kind of early in the school year, but have you noticed any change there?
Our day-to-day popcorn and Capri Sun, we have more volunteers than we've ever had. Our PTO, I understand she's not having to work as hard to get volunteers. So that's been great, and it's just building that rapport with the parents, and I know next year it'll just continue to grow as they'll see me each year, and I'll also see their child grow.
That's great. And at Fogarty?
I see that too. Our first PTO meeting, we had 32 parents.
Awesome.
Some dads and some moms show up. Grandparents showed up. They work together. I think that they're willing to make that investment because they know that their kids are going to be there for 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
So they're willing to make that investment and work together, and it's been a very positive experience.
Well, and just thinking about all the work that went over the summer of moving teachers and relocating, because almost every pre-K through 4th grade teacher was moved from one classroom to another. How have the teachers handled this?
My teachers have actually done great. They understood they had to be flexible. They understood that it was not going to happen on a certain day. We just had to take each day and work with each day that we had. Out of my staff, there was only one teacher that did not have to move, and it was a kindergarten teacher that remained in the same classroom, but everyone else actually did pack up and move.
My teachers have been great with that too. I think that we are fortunate in Guthrie. I think we've got some of the best, and flexibility is a key word for them. It's in their vocabulary, and they took it like a champ. There was no complaining. They knew it was going to be, this is what's going to have to happen to be successful, and they just jumped right in there, and no complaints, and we're making it work.
Well, that's great to hear, and you know, with all of the work that we've put into this to try and plan, there's always some hiccups, but I couldn't be prouder of the staff as well, because I've seen the flexibility, I've seen the dedication to the kids, and then as I've watched you guys and all the work that you've put in to get to know your staff, and those things don't go unnoticed. And so I think ultimately the reason we did this was for the kids, to improve our education, and I'm looking forward to seeing this program through as it goes forward, because you know, Scott, as you mentioned, this can only get better with the parental involvement and connecting the parents with the school.
That's right.
So, well, thank you guys for being here today. Appreciate what you do for Guthrie Public Schools every day, and let's have a great rest of the fall semester.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you.
I'm Mike Simpson with Chalk Talk. Thanks for joining us.